Hello, welcome back to the channel. We're those nerdy guys. I am Bones, and with me, of course, is Logan.
Hello!
Hello. Yes, today's video, a big one. We are talking video games where their sequels are actually better than the original. Believe it or not.
Personal ones.
Personal, yes, but also I would say there's some inside here that are probably accepted, really.
Yeah, accepted. I got a couple here. I got probably one that's going to be controversial.
Oh,
some people.
Interesting.
Warzone 2! No, I'm kidding.
Okay, well, I'm going to start us off with one of my all-time favourites, and it is Batman Arkham City.
I knew you were going to say that. I just knew that was coming.
Yes. Yes, of course. Batman Arkham City, in my opinion, is better than Arkham Asylum. And to be fair, they're both pretty flawless games, in my opinion.
The second one's just a bigger version of the first one, really.
Yes. The first one is... I think it was a big thing for superhero games. They were on a rough patch for a very, very long time. And this came out and it sort of really changed just the whole genre, really.
Well, to be fair, ever since then, there's only been Spider-Man. I can't think of any others.
No. But yeah, no, so of course, then that led to Batman Arkham City, of course, which was released in 2011, I believe.
2011, I think.
Yes.
2011.
So that improved on probably like a numerous things, really. Added more gadgets, added more sort of like to the combat, really.
Bigger open world.
Sort of a bigger story, really. Added more characters as well.
The first one's not really an open world.
No, the first one's very linear.
Yeah, it's very linear, where the second one's not.
I don't think that takes away from it though. Like it's still a very good. I feel like
that game has aged so well that you can replay it still now.
Oh, you can replay any of them still. Like they're absolutely insane.
It's better than the third one.
I still like the third one. The third one is really good. Third one is still
third one is really good.
Yeah.
Apart from the tank battles, but that's a different
tank battles. Yes.
Different conversation.
But yeah, no, I feel like Arkham City improved on just about everything, really. It made Rocksteady sort of like household names, I would say. I mean, I know Arkham Asylum was a great start for them. But
that was like a Game of the Year nominee and everything, so
yeah,
that would make sense.
But then this just improved on everything, and it just blew up even more, and it just made them kind of, I would say, who they are today. But kind of.
Well, no, they're not. Well, I don't know that anymore.
Yeah.
Didn't you not buy the Suicide Squad game full price?
I'd rather not talk about that right now. We're talking about sequels that are better, thank you, not games that are trash.
Fair enough.
Yes, so Arkham City, boom, easy one. Everyone agrees with that. If you don't, then you're wrong.
I feel like this one here everyone's going to agree with. It's Mass Effect 2.
Oh, 100%. I had that as well. Yep.
The greatest sci-fi RPG game ever made.
Oh yeah,
and they're one of the best RPGs ever made. It was like basically Mass Effect 1 was the foundation of what Mass Effect 2 is.
Mm-hmm.
But it doubled down on the best bits of Mass Effect 1 and just smoothed out the rough areas. Like the combat in Mass Effect 1's rough. It came out in 2007, the first one. The second one came out in 2010, and it was both of them made by BioWare. And BioWare just not as good anymore, unfortunately. But, it is what it is. Yeah. But they took, and I remember I'm replaying them on PS5 right now.
Oh, no, okay, nice.
I replayed them on Xbox when the Legendary Edition came out.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to play the first one. Just because it's introduction to all the characters, and I love the story part of the first one. Combat is just so rough. I know it's worse. Fucking Mako vehicle.
Oh,
you just go on planets. You're just basically a flat land.
Like it handles worse than like the Warthog and Halo. Yeah, and the handles alright.
They took that away, like the Mako driving. That's not the second one at all. I don't think.
No,
sure.
Not I can think of.
So yeah, in terms of action and just how anyone can die in the second one as well. Whereas the first one, a few of the main characters can die, but the second one, like honestly, like 3 or 4 of them can die. If you know the game, you know what I'm talking about. This one of the last missions in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that game was peak BioWare easily. Some of the best writing and storytelling and all the different decisions, different pathways you can take in the game, and just everything about it was just a fucking amazing game.
Yeah. I still feel like
to this day, it's still like you need to play it. Yeah,
I still feel like people are trying to emulate that in any way, really, in a lot of games you see right now.
So many games try to emulate it, but they just can't.
It's hard to capture the magic that was Mass Effect 2.
Dragon Age, new one was going to be like that, but it was fucking way off.
Yeah, that was something else.
That was my one.
Nice. So, next up for me, I have Titanfall 2.
Fuck!
I somehow thought you would forget that. I don't know why.
Forgive me, Father.
Yes. So Titanfall, which is obviously by Respawn. When the first one came out, it was a very, I think it was kind of like a sleeper hit.
Amazing. I wouldn't say it's a sleeper hit. It was massive. It just died off.
It just felt like it was so long ago.
I bet it fell off the radar really quickly just because lack of maps and no campaign. And that was kind of just it. But the multiplayer was still like absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, it was incredibly fun. Yeah, and then we had Titanfall 2, obviously, which came out, and I'm still upset that we
got buddied.
Yeah, I'm still upset of just. It came out. It was a bigger game. Had a campaign. It was just.
Oh, the campaign is so good.
Campaign is actually
it's
really
amazing.
Really good.
That time travel, jumping levels mission is still one of the best missions I've ever played in a video game.
Oh yeah, no.
When you press the button, it
that mechanic, yeah. I don't know, it's great.
Amazing, so good.
Yeah.
BT in it and all that.
BT 7274 or
voiced by the actor voiced Optimus Prime.
What, Peter Cullen?
Yeah, was it voiced by him?
I don't know. I think so.
I feel like it was. Anyway, the relationship between your Titan and your pilot in Titanfall 2 campaign is just so well written and so well done, and the map design with the amazing gameplay that Titanfall 1 had was just incredible. So innovative. I can't speak.
I can't see anything about.
I swear it was. Unless they just made that up.
I think you just want it to real.
Nah. You continue talking. I'll check.
Yeah, no. So Titanfall 2, as we were saying, the campaign obviously added a campaign for the first time in the series. Absolutely terrific story. It's it's still just criminal that we haven't gotten a Titanfall 3. The fact that like you were saying, that it's just been buried, and honestly, don't even know if we'll ever see it in the light of day again, which is really.
I'm talking shit. It wasn't. It's not him. I don't know who it is. No.
Oh, right, okay.
He did an incredible job though. Don't know why. All that maybe because it just sounded in my head.
Yeah. It is a shame that it underperformed.
Yeah, but it was EA's fault. EA/Respawn. I was trying to do some legal side of it. Battlefield 1 released, and like a week later, Titanfall 2, or was it 2 weeks later? Titanfall 2 released, and then Call of Duty released. Within like 2 weeks.
Yes.
Two
that's why.
Sort of pillar of modern shooters.
I completely forgot about that whole release.
That's why it undersold, was because of that. And it was the best, probably the best of the three. But Battlefield, it came out same time as Battlefield 1, which was an amazing game anyway.
I know, and it's all because of that. Is probably part of the reason why we will never get a third one. It seems, which is criminal.
Apex Legends, pish man. I do like Apex, but it's not Titanfall. It's nowhere near.
Yeah, nah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. Painful. So let's move on to happier things. What do you have next?
I have Halo 2.
Oh yeah. So obvious.
And I had it down here as the sequel that changed console shooters, because that's exactly what Halo 2
sequel that
did.
changed just about everything, to be honest.
It kind of just brought using a controller on a shooter with multiplayer what it is today. Like that was the first game that did it. No game before that.
It definitely shaped it to what it is today.
100% shaped it, the way console shooters are. And that's how it was like a revolution when that game came out with Xbox Live.
Yeah.
And, back then, I was a wee kid. So I got Halo 2 when I was about, I think I would have been 9, I think.
How old are you right now?
30.
Sorry.
Why would you do that?
I don't have long until I turn that age, so I want to make the most of it.
Yeah, and you're going to die.
Oh, God, Christ.
First day, I'm going to come in and kill you. Who's 30 now, bots? Where was I? Yes, Halo 2.
Halo 2,
absolutely incredible game. I remember when I first played that, I think I played through the campaign of that when I was a kid, like, honestly, dozens and dozens of times.
Yeah.
And then it took me a long time, but I eventually got the Xbox Live for that set up. I didn't do it myself. I got like my cousins and that to help me who were older, who knew how the internets all that worked. But see that first time when you like see other players online, it sounds ridiculous because everyone will be like, you do
it sounds ridiculous now.
But see, like back then, it was just like wow on a console.
Oh yeah,
I just couldn't believe it.
It's something you've never experienced before.
Yeah, and it has, to me, Halo 2 has one of the best campaigns out of the trilogy. I still think Halo 3 is probably the better game, but I feel like when you talk about a sequel, I feel like Halo 2 was just much better than Halo 1, and Halo 1 was absolutely incredible as well.
Yeah, I think it's more just Halo 2 done a lot for, like you were saying, the genre and just a first-person shooter in general.
Yeah, just like how epic the campaign was. Dual wielding, hijacking fucking tanks and all that. You get the energy sword as well, because you couldn't use the energy sword in the first one. Pretty sure you can't anyway. Because I remember when the elites would have one, you couldn't pick up after. It looked totally different. But just like everything about it, and obviously the Halo 2 campaign had probably one of the most epic quotes. You know, like the whole, you know, he's like the bomb. He's like, what have you missed? I won't. Oh, chills. And he flies in, puts the bomb into the ship. Bang! And it also has the big massive cliffhanger ending as well, which is painful. Where he's like, Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing in that ship? Sir, finishing this fight. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, chills. And then, see if a game did that now, I'd probably just start screaming and kill myself. Because the games now take like 9 years to make. I'm like, oh my grandchild will get to know what happens.
It's so painfully true, isn't it?
But yeah, that's my one. I think that's probably one of the most important games of all time.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. So, next up for me, I have Middle-earth Shadow of War, which is obviously the sequel to 2014's Shadow of Mordor. They're loving the Shadow titles, aren't they?
That game is better than the first one.
Yes.
But the start that game had was awful because it had the loot boxes.
Oh yeah, I forget about the whole debacle.
Yeah,
it's insane. Actually, think about it.
You'd have people you can just pay for orcs basically.
Yeah, because it was something to do. So if you don't know, the Shadow of whatever it is, Shadows games, they have the Nemesis system, which was
the best.
Like kind of like the first time it was introduced into.
It was made for that, and then Warner Bros. I'm pretty sure put a patent. Patent?
Yes,
is that what you said?
they
patent?
Patented or trademarked it either way.
Basically,
so no one can ever use it.
So no one can use it, and it's one of the greatest innovations in video games we've had in the last 15, 20 years.
It's insane. Yeah. So yes, the sequel, Shadow of War, 2017, as I was saying. Lord of the Rings is obviously just insane in general. You know, it's a great IP. Films are amazing. A lot of early games are pretty good as well. I feel like these two have really helped push the Lord of the Rings IP more into the mainstream gaming media in a sense.
Because before that they hadn't.
Before that, like a lot of the
Lord of the Rings games since
other ones were overlooked because they were very
2005, 2004.
What would have been? Wasn't Lord of the Rings Conquest? Was it?
Oh shit! I forgot about that. That's one of my. I love that game.
Love that game. Oh god. But
I
yes,
miss you. that was that studio's last game as well, where EA killed them.
Classic. Yes. So sorry, as I was saying, Shadow of War, the Nemesis system. It's just insane how good it is, and the fact, we're never going to get it in like a different game. It's criminal, really. It's like
it was just the way the AI worked with the Nemesis system, and like if you didn't kill a orc general or something properly, they would then come back and they would look totally different, and they would remember you, and they would say these different lines. Like every playthrough, it would be different almost. Like you'd have almost a different different.
Every experience with like orcs they're unique and like
brilliant. It's such a genius system.
I know.
And the fuckers patented it.
I know.
So we can't see it in other games.
And it's a shame.
Then they're making Wonder Woman, which apparently rebooted recently. So that game's never coming out.
Oh, that game's I'll be very surprised. But
mental.
This game, it just amplifies a lot of things. The story is even better than the first one. First one was a good introduction into Talion. Pretty sure his name is, isn't it? Talion, yes. Introduction into him.
Baker.
Classic. This adds a lot more to the story. It's so cool seeing like Lord of the Rings IP treated with respect, and
it's not canon.
It's not canon, yes, but it's still cool seeing it under like a lot of
the campaign.
Familiar.
Like, I don't play that game. I don't play for the campaign. I play for the gameplay.
Like when you're up against like the Wraiths, whatever they're called. You know,
Nazgul.
the Nazgul, yes. The nine.
You were close, yeah.
Yes.
Technically right as well.
Alright.
No, it was more like just didn't think the campaign was. It's not that the campaign is bad. I just don't care about the story in it because I think Talion's not a very good character. I find him just a bit boring.
No, I can see that.
The gameplay is so fucking good. So who gives a fuck? It's one of those games you like. Yeah, stories are but like everything else is like incredible. That's just my view, though.
Yeah. Next up, go.
Next up,
we'll end with that.
Right. So I have here the best version of this game franchise. There's been about 20 games now, apparently.
All right, okay.
That's Kingdom Hearts 2.
Ah, right,
released
okay.
on the PS2 back in 2005, and I remember it vividly because I remember playing basketball outside. And my mum came home with it, and I remember nearly crying. It was like the game I was looking for. This game, like, it basically does what the first one does, but everything is so much better. Like everything.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Kingdom Hearts is, it's very fucking difficult to explain it. it has Disney characters in it, and your companions are Donald and Goofy, but then it has Final Fantasy characters in it. Why? Because it's made
Just
by
why
Japanese.
not,
It's
you know?
made by a studio that makes the Final Fantasy games, so why not? And then you get to go into all these Disney worlds. And if you play games, you probably know what Kingdom Hearts is. And then Kingdom Hearts 2 had probably my favorite Disney movies as well. The first one had obviously the bangers like Tarzan.
Yeah, aye.
But Kingdom Hearts 2 was just everything that was better about the game, and the story was still relatively easy to follow, kind of, because then they introduced the first game was about the Heartless, and this game has Heartless, but then this one also has Nobodies, and then you get Heartless versions of Sora, and you get a Nobody version called Roxas, and that's Sora's like Nobody, and then he's called Roxas.
It's very
and Sora.
confusing, really.
Oh, fucking see it now.
Yeah.
There's like YouTube videos of people who just like make like 10 hours, like Elden Ring-esque lore for Kingdom Hearts. Apparently the director and writer basically watches some of their videos because he's now lost. But there's been so many spin-off games. I think there's actually a game that came out between 1 and 2 that I didn't play, but it was on like the Game Boy or something. Can't remember what that was called.
Right.
But yeah, it just improved like the combat, boss fights. Like there's a one boss fight where you have to kill like 1,000 Heartless, and back then the PS2 that was just mind blowing at the time. Amazing music. It's
Yeah, that's one thing that stands out for me.
The same
music.
girl that did the soundtrack for Final Fantasy 15 as well. Can't remember what her name is though. I want to say it, but I think I might just
You'll probably butcher it as well, yeah.
Shikomura or Shikomura.
I mean, that didn't sound that bad.
Shinsuke Nakamura. But yeah, that game, perfect. Ended brilliantly. And obviously, because it was so popular, they had to make more, which they did. They made Kingdom Hearts 3, which was
quite a while between the two, wasn't it? 2 and 3. Yeah.
Like
over like
12, 13
10.
years?
Oh, yeah.
13 years maybe? Came out in 2005, and Kingdom Hearts 3 came out in 2018, maybe 2019? 2019 maybe, actually. And that it wasn't as good as 2. 2 is the best one by far. And I remember, I think it was like IGN or something gave Kingdom Hearts 2 like a 7.5.
Oh, IGN, notorious for their good ratings.
Disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disrespectful.
Yeah, 2019 for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, wow.
So,
and then 2005 for Kingdom Hearts 2,
wow.
I'm pretty sure. So.
Yeah, 2005. God
but
damn!
That's by far the best version of the franchise, in my opinion. And I think I probably argue a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans would agree with that as well.
Well,
I used to be obsessed with the story when I was younger, but I've kind of like forgotten so many bits of it.
Yeah.
I played through the remix a few years ago. I own it on PlayStation.
So like
PlayStation 3.
What was it? The
I owned it on
1.5 they called it.
PlayStation 4, and then I own it on Xbox as well. Because when it comes to games like that, I really love. I like to have them.
To be fair,
on all my consoles.
That's like me with the Arkham series. I have them on just about everything.
Yeah. You tried playing Kingdom Hearts. You got stuck in the first one, didn't you? I remember you were against the dragon, Maleficent.
Oh,
Maleficent from the first one.
Yeah.
You got stuck in that. I remember you sent me a screenshot, and you were like hiding in the corner.
I tried to cheese it.
Her health was like that, and your health was like that. And you had no potions, and Donald was dead, and he's the healer of the group, kind of. And I remember you text me after, being like, "Fucking bitch got me." And then Bones does what he always does when he faces a hard boss in a game. Quits.
Yeah, I move on.
He moves on. Anyway, next one.
Oh, okay, right. I have Resident Evil 4. Oh, excuse me. Yes, Resident Evil 4 came out in 2005. Yes, obviously by Capcom.
It released on the GameCube originally.
Yes, released on the GameCube. Yeah. That's actually where I played it, because I remember playing it at... it was a friend's house, I'm pretty sure, when we were very young, because I didn't have a GameCube. And he had it, and that was the first time I'd experienced it. And I think when you're that young, and you kind of... I never really played any horror games when I was that young. Obviously, because you're just... Everyone's too scared.
Loser.
But no, even sitting watching him playing that, and then having a shot myself, it's one of the ones that kind of really sticks with you, because it's quite... When you're that young, it's like a lot of it is terrifying. But then obviously as you get older and you realise how sort of like dated the mechanics are in a sense, and just how not really scary it is in a sense.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's scary at all, apart from that one bit in the remake that I played. Underground bit that got stuck, and I had to get you to try and help me.
Oh, yes, with the ones you have to use the night vision scope on.
They freak me out, but the rest of the game.
No, they're creepy as hell. Yeah, no, I think it just does.
Amazing game.
Resident Evil sounds like much more, especially than 3. I think 3 is forgotten about a lot because it was very quite weak, to be honest, compared to the previous first two. First two are like absolute classics. Third one fell flat, and The fourth one, it kind of really vamped up just the genre and the series as well, to be honest. Really, it kind of made it into like the household name that Resident Evil is today.
Yeah, especially their remakes and all that now, bring it into a modern audience.
Yeah, the remakes as well. Obviously, they've recently remade 4, and my God, it was...
I hope they remake 5 next. Great co-op game. We might be able to finally finish it together.
Funny you should say that, because at the end of 4, they do tease it.
Do they?
They tease, there's a call between Chris and... I can't remember the woman's name.
Which woman?
In 5. You know, the
president's daughter?
No, like the one that you're co-op with in the game.
Oh,
the
black chick. Black chick?
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Can't remember her name. But yeah, anyway. So obviously after you finish that, there is that like cutscene that sort of like alludes at it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do, given the reception of the last few remakes they've done.
I mean, the way they're going, they've remade 1, 2, 3, 4. They may as well do 5. And there's rumours that there's a 6 coming out soon. That's the one that they were saying is coming out soon. I was like, that shouldn't come out after 5.
Yeah, you would think
Resident Evil 5.
Yeah. But no, I think it's one of the all-time great horror games. Yeah,
Next.
pretty much it.
Next,
yeah.
Oh, arguably, probably, most people would agree, one of the greatest games ever made. It's the sequel, but the story's a prequel. It is Red Dead 2.
Oh, yeah, of course. I don't know where you were going with that.
What, the sequel that is but the story's a prequel?
I was like, is he going to say the different game?
Yeah. I don't know how to even begin with this game. I think most people...
Money.
Rockstar, cowboys, and the most beautiful graphics I've ever seen. Even today, it came out in 2018, and it is still, if you play it now, it's by far the most alive world you'll ever play in a video game.
Oh,
and I really hope they top,
unreal.
I don't know if you can top that, but hopefully they match it with GTA. But like the level of detail in this game is just insane. Like I've seen videos online of people like using binoculars and zooming in like miles, and then there'd be like way in the distance there'd be like wolves mourning.
There'll be NPCs that are literally
you have no right to see that as a player, but that's just happening in the world.
Yeah.
It's just genius. And like the story and Arthur, he's by far one of my most favorite protagonists ever, easily.
Oh yeah, no, he's great. Like and he's the voice actor as well. It's terrific for him.
Oh, perfect. I can't remember his name now.
I don't know. We're bad at names. It's fine.
True.
You know what? I'll look up his name while you carry on talking about how good Red Dead 2 is.
I don't even consider the multiplayer in that game. I did play it. It was alright. Didn't think too much of it.
It's one of those things where I don't really think
I didn't like
you need to play it.
Difficult buying a can of beans was in that multiplayer, because they tried to obviously want to spend you real money in it.
Aye, they want that GTA money.
I was like, why the fuck's a can of beans taking me like 10 missions to pay for? I know they eventually fixed it, but no, fuck that. But take multiplayer out of the way. Didn't really touch it. The story, really long game though.
Oh, really long.
Like I don't mind the prologue,
it's
but a lot
good,
of people don't like the prologue and the epilogue. The epilogue can stretch a bit.
Roger Clark, that's his name.
Roger
Sorry.
Clark.
Yes, I knew it was a Roger.
Amazing. He did such a good job as Arthur. And then basically the entire cast is amazing. The camp scenes.
Oh yeah, aye.
Lenny, like the bit when you get drunk with him and he's like walking around steaming and he sees Lenny everywhere and he goes in the bedroom and there's like Lenny's pumping each other. It's fucking just so good. The gore, the realistic gore, the horse mechanics, just like everything about it. Like the way the horses move in that game, no game has matched how a horse feels. Like you can tell the amount of effort they put into horses.
No, the attention to
I'm pretty
detail.
sure the horses were motion capture, so they had motion capture.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Like that's just like that level. It just doesn't happen in games.
No, definitely not.
And even like I remember the first time you skin an animal and it does like the whole actual like cutting bit and the like you see everything.
It's the animation brilliant. Is good.
I liked how realistic it was, but it still had the video game. No, but not too realistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just I think it's one of the greatest games ever made. And it's probably one of the greatest sequels ever.
It's one of the games like you can play it and you don't even necessarily have to do like the missions or that. You could find yourself lost in the world for like
go fishing
a good couple of hours. Like it's
go hunting
and there's so
for unique animals,
many unique things to do in the world. Like you can stumble upon just about anything. There's like a witch's cabin away up in the top hand side of the map. I remember doing it. And you drink from the cauldron, you pass out, and then you just wake up in the middle of nowhere.
That happens quite a lot. The GTA did stuff like that with the aliens and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they do like shit like that. There's a vampire in it.
Yeah, and then there's like another one where there's like a cabin that's had a meteor come in and just crash through it. Like it's there's so much
the random
to
encounters you get in that game and just wandering the forest. Like I remember one time I was just camping near a land that had a lot of like the psycho, basically incest freaks and all that. I can't remember that there was a name for them. And they kind of jump you, and obviously you have to kill them. But it's just little things like that are just so brilliant. They keep you like, you don't get bored. For me, anyway. I think for most people, because it is one of the greatest games ever made. But yeah, I think that's one. That's just peak gaming.
Peak gaming. Yes. Speaking of peak gaming, I have one. Right. I'm torn between it because yes, it's a brilliant game, right? But at the same time, I am torn between. Is it better than the first one? I have The Last of Us Part 2.
That's what I have. That's what I said was controversial.
It's like, I think The Last of Us Part 1, right?
Most divisive sequel made, in my opinion.
Last of Us Part 1 is like an all-time 10 out of 10. It's in the top 3 of like games, stories, periods, like point blank. Like nothing comes close to it. Part 2, I would say, is the same, but I don't know.
It emotionally gets to me, Part 2, more.
Part 2 absolutely
the gameplay,
emotionally destroyed.
The gameplay is superior to the first one by far, but there is that came out in 2020, whereas Last of Us came out in 2013, so there is a jump between them.
Yeah.
But the gameplay in the second one is like, it's so fucking good. You know how I said like Red Dead had realistic gore and all that? This game has realistic gore more than Red Dead. Like the level of detail you get, like hitting a glass in someone's face, and you could see the glass shards like in their cheeks, and if you kill them, if they're like other NPC mate sees that dead person, they then start screaming.
They react to it authentically.
I recently got the platinum, my first platinum.
Nice.
For the Part 2, because it's probably one of my favorite, if not one of my favorite games of all time.
Yes, like, it's absolutely terrific. Like there's no doubt about that.
I think that's why I put number 2 over 1. But like they're both like 10s. They're both masterpieces.
I think that they're both.
The second one makes me really upset and depressed, and I just think the writing in it and the way the story, the music, the acting, like everyone involved in that game just did such a perfect job. And the gameplay, man, it's just so fucking good, and it really makes me sad we'll never get the factions enough multiplayer game.
I think that's partly why I know you've obviously you said done it as well, and that's why it's controversial. I think that's partly why we're including it in this list, is because of all those things you said. Just like all that attention to detail, the uniqueness of like the animations and the NPCs, and the gameplay just being like pumped up even more, and it's all those things that.
And the game made me cry. Like I cried. Like I was actually like tears dropping down my face at a certain point at the end of the game. If you know what you know, it's when Joel sips his coffee. Let's just say that. God, like that bit actually like makes me. I recently did the partner and it made me cry again. I was just like, this game.
It's full of little things that trigger you. Like it's the story is sensational. It just does so much to you. It destroys you mentally and physically. Really, yeah.
And like, obviously gets a lot of hate for a certain point at right at the beginning of the game. Spoiler alert: Joel dies. But like I'm sure everyone knows video games that Joel dies, and obviously that was just. It does not help because that game leaked, remember?
That was leaked beforehand, and I didn't believe that when I seen it.
I didn't see it, thankfully, because I basically went like off grid when that leaked. I was like, I don't want to know. I remember one comment I saw, and after the moment, it was something like, "Oh, it's quite cool in this game that you find out that Joel really likes golf." And I was like,
"Oh, that's evil."
I remember seeing it on Twitter, and
that
I was like,
evil.
I was like,
I don't get that, but
okay, he likes golf.
Then it happens, and you're like, oh my god,
Scottish invention, so I'm going to take that with pride. I don't know. I just didn't see that. But yeah, that's why it's really controversial. A lot of people are really like, no, it's rubbish. Just it's like you can hate that bit. You cannot tell me it is a bad video game.
I also think it's one of the things that invokes a lot of opinion.
If you take like the gameplay, graphics, and everything else, those should all be positives.
That's just a mere moment. I know it's something that we don't like, and I think that's why a lot of people didn't resonate with it and they hate it so much. But at the same time, nothing lasts forever, you know? Like,
beautiful game.
I need
part 3.
Yes.
I need part 3.
There's a reason why we're so annoyed.
That game ends almost like a depressing cliffhanger.
Very depressing. The game is just depressing in general.
That last bit, like the bit when she's getting like PTSD and the way she's riding down the really long steps and shouting for her to help. It's just so well directed, written, graphically, the acting, just everything about it is almost like masterpiece level.
You're going to set me off again.
I personally say it was not a masterpiece, but Like, there's no such thing as a perfect game. I fucking think that's close to it.
Oh no, it's up there, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Next up,
I've got one more.
nice.
I could sit here for hours talking about this, but I'm still at my own personal.
Well, why?
Sequel to
We'll make
video.
this the last one. I mean, I have a few other ones, but now I'm thinking about it, I'm not too sure.
Okay.
So yeah. What do we have?
Am I going next?
Sorry, yeah. I thought you said you were. Yeah, because Last of Us Part 2 was me, and then.
Oh, right, yeah, because
Yeah.
I was looking at
It's
that.
'cause you had it as well.
I had
Sorry,
that.
that's
That
why,
was
yeah.
my next one as well.
No, I was just saying I have other ones, but.
My
like,
last one is Gears of War 2.
Oh my.
2008.
Why did I not think of that?
Remember I like shaved your head basically, and you borrowed it off me and played it for like 6 weeks straight.
Do you know what? I think that was meant to happen. Like that was just meant to happen in my life.
You rubbed it in your hair as well, so this.
Yeah.
But Gears of War 2 came out in 2008. Another game my mother bought me. I've actually got it back here somewhere. Pretty sure.
Oh, is it on your left?
Here.
Oh.
Aha! The steel case edition.
Boom.
I lost the Dom photo though. I can't find it.
You lost the Dom and Maria photo.
I think someone stole it. I would not lose that.
Yes, well, that's a good point.
But yes, obviously a sequel to the first one that came out in 2006. This one was, for me personally, I think it's the best campaign of the trilogy.
I would agree. It's my personal favorite as
I
well.
start at the top, go down to the bottom, you go back to the top, and there's obviously a bit like the Brumak, and it's a very personal story for Dom as well. Because the first one, and it basically does everything the first one. This is what I mean by the sequels, and probably would say a lot. It does everything better than the first one, but
Yeah.
the gameplay's more enhanced. It's graphically more beautiful. And back then, those games pushed graphics, especially on consoles. Like they looked incredible.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people back then would have been like, "That looks like a PC game." Just how good the graphics were. It's a bigger game. It's better. And it's way more emotional. And that's why I absolutely adore this game. And obviously, it was the introduction of Horde mode. And it was
yes.
the first video game, as far as I'm aware, that had like a Horde mode in it.
Yeah.
If you include like multiplayer and stuff. Obviously, I think Call of Duty had World at War zombies. But Gears of War 2, I'm pretty sure, released before that. So technically, their Horde mode was the first one.
Yeah, so Horde was released
To release
first.
first.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite Horde modes because it was a lot more simpler. There wasn't like base building on that. It was more like
It's one of the things where simple is
map
best.
and survive.
Yeah.
And it introduced like chainsaw duels and all that. That was the first time that got introduced.
Yeah.
Like I remember like coming home from school in a rugby tournament. My mum handed me the case, and I remember going home playing it till like midnight. Like that was like, and that was just me. I was so addicted to it, and like there was like me, cousins and that. We used to play it every night. We used to do like 3v3, and it was just so fucking good, man. I've got nothing but amazing memories of that game, and I think it's one of my favorite games of all time. The third game is overall a better game than 2, but the campaign
think 2 just hits more.
Yeah, I'd say so. But 3 also hits more.
Oh my
Emotionally,
God,
3
yes,
probably
of
hits
course,
more. But like, I feel like 2, because it's a sequel to the first one, I do think it's a lot better than the first one. Whereas the third one is slightly better than the second one. So that's why
the second one improved on like a good solid foundation and
Yes.
made the series what it is today.
Yeah,
That's
and
why the second one is so revered and everyone loves it so much. And I'm pretty much like that's literally what you're trying to say. Yeah.
And it was when the game became very like mainstream because it was fucking massive when that game came out. It was like an event. First one was like that as well, but I didn't play the first one until Christmas, and it came out like November, September time.
Yeah.
But
I miss those days. Like, you know, when those big 360 like games hit like Gears of War, and like they had like events and midnight releases.
Halo 3 was the one like I remember like it was like in the local papers. It was like one of the first video games ever for the news like acknowledge was like a release. Because before that there wasn't really anything. It wasn't really a big deal. And Halo 3 was the one that had like, I'm pretty sure it holds the record for still like most players on one console. It was over 1 million players online. You don't get that.
Wild.
You don't get that on Call of Duty like live at once.
No.
Like that's
Definitely
just
not.
on one console. That's just fucking, it's unheard of. Obviously back then as well there was not much, there's much more choice now with games.
Yeah.
But like, I am so desperate for a Gears of War game.
And to be fair, we might not have long, according to rumours.
I'm fucking praying E-Day comes out this year. Apparently it's been in development for 6 years, so I'm just praying. But yeah, Gears of War 2 was my last one, but obviously the introduction of Horde mode, beautiful campaign, co-op as well. It's obviously co-op split screen or co-op online. It was just one of the most perfect video games.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely terrific.
And Gears of War still remains supreme in terms of third-person shooter. By far the best one still.
Third-person cover shooters as well.
Cover shooter.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like that was a great way to end it on a terrific game, Gears of War 2. Obviously, we probably missed a few, but like we said, it's personal opinion, really.
Share us your opinion.
Yeah,
we probably missed tons,
you like.
Yeah.
Oh, there'll be absolutely tons. We'll finish this and we'll go off and be like, oh my god, how did we forget that?
Yeah. That's 100% going to happen.
Yeah, but no, we would love to hear what you guys think. Obviously, on what sequels are better than the originals. Leave a comment below and remember to like and subscribe. All of our socials and everything, if you want to follow us on anything at all, is in the link below, as always. And we will see you next time. Thank you.
Goodbye.